Hey, John. First, I want to thank you for coming in and speaking with me today. Um, I think it's important that we do take some time to, first of all, just tell you how impressed I am that you did so many surveys and that were so honest and open. That's going to be really important as we dive through these results. But know that there is a quiet resilience about you. And I really wanted to just thank you for completing those assessments. Now, without further ado, let's get to some of the results here. We took about 4 different tests: the Beck Depression Inventory, the Beck Hopelessness Scale, the Beck Anxiety Inventory, and the Beck Scale for Suicidal Ideation. I want to talk about first the Beck Depression Inventory. There you scored a 32. That falls in the severe range for depressive symptoms. This suggests that you've been experiencing some significant levels of depression. And this might be, the reason for the assessments. And it also talks about you saying that you felt sad a lot of the times and you've been losing interest in the activities. That also really does align with your Beck Hopelessness Scale, in which you scored a 13. Now, that puts you in the moderate range of this assessment for hopelessness. I think when we talk about hopelessness, you can definitely derive maybe some of your future or issues you might have with the future. And that's often, hopelessness is often accompanied with depression. So we see those two scales, the Beck Depression Inventory and the Hopelessness Scale, are pretty on target. Um, so let's look at the third and fourth assessments. The Beck Anxiety Inventory, you scored an 18. That's going to fall into the moderate range as well for anxiety. This suggests that there's been some feelings of anxiety, some difficulty relaxing. What are your thoughts on that? And so far, before I get to the last one, do you have any questions? I know I'm moving, pretty briefly. Okay. All right. So then I want to talk about the Beck scale for suicidal ideation. Now, this you scored a 2, and I just want to talk about some of your responses. Now, while you didn't fall into a diagnostic range here, you did state that you would kill yourself if you had the chance. However, on the BSS, which is the Beck Suicidal Scale, you also indicated that you had no desire to kill yourself and that you would try to save your life if you found yourself in a life-threatening situation. So can we clarify some of that? Okay. So just maybe a misinterpretation of the test. All right. Um, Very good. So overall, your profile indicates significant distress with high levels of depression, anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness. So I just want to be sure, if there's any type of um, issues, if you had any end of life concerns or desires. Okay. Well, I just want to work with you. I think that before we wrap up, that you feel comfort with talking about anything else or having any other questions. And lastly, I want to really thank you for your openness and willingness to work with me.